Revernauts, Chief Engineer Rever, back again at the Reverstan Space Agency Complex. And we are ready to do some designing. I did a little bit of experimenting off camera, and then I kind of reset everything to where we were the last time. So this time, unlike the end of the last episode, I have a good idea so that I don't have to faff about, as a British person might say, dealing with this. So one of the couple of things that I realized I probably should have done with I'll show you. Let's go ahead and retract these, right? So that'll make a big difference on that. Then the other thing, if we take this off for a second, we can scale this down to 50%. So I think that looks a lot better, right? And then we could probably get, you can tell I just went through all of this, right? We could get an adapter and get that guy put on there. And then if we come in here, and again, I should figure out which category these things are in. But we'll put an Airstream shell, which is that size anyway, right? And then we should be able to, we just have to kind of miss this guy here, right? A little bit bigger like that. And then we can kind of come up straight, maybe even tilt it in. I don't want to hit that. There we go, like right there. You know what? Let's see. How do we undo this? Let's take this guy to like right. No, don't close the fairing. There you go. There we go. That looks pretty reasonable, right? So there we go. So now we might want to, it's a little pain working through the, oops, what did I do? Miss again. All right, so there we go. So now we have, this covered. And I don't see us adding anything more. I think this is a good enough of a communicator, if you want to call it that we should be able to communicate back. Now, we're going to have issues with our satellite network when we go, on the dark side of the moon, so to speak, the other side of the moon from Kerbal. But at the very least, we'll have, what I think is enough delta V at this point in this final stage. Let's make sure we're staged correctly. Yeah. So this 1200 delta V or 1800 it should be more than enough to get us onto the moon and even take us back off. Now we're not too worried about taking back off, right? But I think that this will all work. Now the other thing I want to do is add some of the science part. So let's put a flight computer on here. This thing looks big and awkward, but we shouldn't have any atmospheric issues when we get down there, right? And we'll put a Kerbal engineering system on here. And then I think over on this side, I don't think we're going to take a goo experiment. It's kind of heavy and also it's of limited use. I think we'll try to focus on that when we get to actually like putting a man on there. We'll try to see about, because then a man can like reset it and transmit it a few times potentially. And that would, I don't know if that's going to work out. I don't know if we're supposed to send 2 people to the moon surface, but if we can put 2 people on the moon surface, then we can have one of them be a scientist, and that scientist can reset our goo containers. So that's about all the science that we can do at this point. Now, what I would like to do is, when you come into engines here, let's save this guy for a second. Moon probe lander, good. So I think that's everything we're going to need. I think that this would actually land. Now, I'm not going to worry about bringing it back. If we were going to bring it back, we would probably put another stage in here where we could put a coupler, and then, that is a question. We could get more science. And if we were going to do that, let's just see what that does to our weight. Maybe I'm changing my mind, right? Has been known to happen. And then we would get a coupling, heat, thermal shield. Is that too big? No, that is about the right size. And then we would, let's get a decoupler. It's too big. What is that? Oh, that's real big. that's right. We need to scale this guy down. There we go. Then we would put this guy on here. So what does that do? Yeah, so there would be 0 delta V. Now this needs to go like that, right? And then we would also need to get some parachutes on this guy. So what does that do? That really cuts down on our delta V that we have for landing. The other thing it's doing is it's making it really kind of top heavy, which I don't necessarily like, right? Like when it comes to landing this thing, you know, the shorter and squatter that it is, the better that we kind of are, like without it just toppling over. If it topples over, we're never going to get it back anyway. So, you know, we would better hope that we land on a level, very level spot. So now having done that, we would probably also want to move our experiments and the flight stuff. Well, the flight stuff here, well, you know what? We might as well recover it, right? Even if it looks a little bit goofy. Because then we could get the parts back if we did that. Yeah, you know what? Let's move this up just a little bit so it's out of the way of the doors. And I think we could maybe move that down just a tad. Now, the other thing we don't have, which may add a fair chunk of weight, is we would want to do a little bit more with the electricity here, huh? So is this just getting like way more complicated? As far as the electricity goes, we have a little bit of electricity in here. Don't necessarily need to bring that reflectron back. So yeah, we would definitely want enough electricity to land. Let's, you know, I don't know what I want to do. Let's take the heat shield and we're going to put a rechargeable battery. Well, no, let's do the right, and then let's do, like, just for safety's sake, another one. This is killing our delta V. Yeah, we're down to only 800 delta V on this guy, which I think we're going to need like 500 to 700 to land. So we really don't have enough to take this guy back off with all of that. So yeah, let's just do, yeah, let's just forget about 3/4 of that. We do want to keep our batteries on there. And yeah, let's move this guy back down. We're just going to get rid of that Science Junior. See if that, well, yeah, I don't like the extra height there. But yeah, this is going to land. It's not going to come back to Earth. So we don't, so 900 is like more than we really need. We probably could go, yeah, you know what we could do? Let's take this off and see about putting 2 Oscar Bs on there, which should be like 2/3 the amount of fuel, but will shorten us up a fair amount, right? So we could take these guys and put them, you know, kind of as low as possible. Let's put Shift X. Put this stuff onto here. Oops, what happened there? Come back here. And then put this guy on here. Now the other, oops, what happened there? The other thing that I wonder is, let's take that coupler off. Really, this is probably a lot more engine than we actually need. So let's do body mun, right? Yeah, see 7.8. So let's get how, yeah, that's the Baby Valiant. So let's go look at the engines. And that's this guy. Yeah, we definitely want one that gimbals. Yeah, the Pomeranian would definitely work. And this guy, let's right click. Does he gimbal? He doesn't gimbal. So what if we put this guy on? Well, is that guy even bigger? I don't quite understand why. Oh, because he's 25. Yeah, this guy's like half the weight. Okay. But what I like about that is that it's a lot shorter, right? So we can maybe make this look a little bit better by moving that up to where it's at least looks like it's on the fuel tanks. There we go. Yeah, so what did that do? So really we have more delta V now. We shorten the whole thing up. However, we've also kind of messed up our fairing here, huh? How do we, well, let's just do this. Let's put a new fairing on. Let's zoom out a little bit. Yeah, we'll go right about that height. There. Now let's put this guy back on, and I would just, I think, have everything we would want, right? We got a couple extra experiments. You know, we could do a goo container. We got a satellite. We got some batteries. We don't have any solar panels. And this might be worth, there might be two things that would be worth spending. Yeah, I think we want to get the retractable. Well, I don't know. 3x2. Yeah, maybe we just go with this and then. Yeah, let's do. Oops. Yeah, just two of these. Yeah, let's put them over here so they don't look like they're blocking our, you know, when we open these doors. It looks a little bit better. So let's see if we extend these. Yeah, I think, you know, that looks pretty reasonable, right? All right, so let's close the doors. Good. So I think that that is a workable probe. You know, the shorter engine lets us move these up a little bit. Hopefully we'll be able to, we don't have any RCS, but we have the inline reaction wheel, and I'm going to count on our flight computer holding us pretty darn steady. We have, yeah, a little engine decoupling. 900 delta V should be like more than enough considering we don't plan on ever leaving the planet or the moon, which I guess moons are kind of planets, aren't they? Even though they just rotate around another, well, never mind. That's a philosophical debate. Okay, in any event, so the next thing we want to do is, you know, I think I'm pretty happy with this stage. We got probably more delta V than we need. So do we need the Terrier? But let's save this guy again. And I want to go out, and I do want to get at least one scientific upgrade here. So let's go to the bigger heavy rocketry. And we have two engines here that I'm particularly interested in. I think either this Bobcat or one of these two, the Serpent or the Rabbit. Now, if we right click, the Rabbit doesn't have gimbaling, but the Serpent does. Now, they're a little more powerful, so we'll have to kind of see what we end up with here. Though I haven't, when I did it before, I settled on this Bobcat. But let's go ahead and research that, which we'll need that bigger rocketry for getting up into other, you know, it'll be beneficial. It's not at all going to be a waste. I think we're going to really need it when we start doing manned stuff, because manned stuff is a lot heavier. All right, so now let's just see, is there a better engine than this Terrier? Because we really don't need 9, you know, the thrust there. So there's that Rabbit. Baby Valiant. Yeah, what does that compare? Where is the Terrier? That's what we have now, right? Which is which one? What does it look like? I can't see it. Yeah, let's take that coupler off. Oh, it's this. Yeah, I mean, that's thrust in vacuum, you know, is a lot less. So it's, yeah, we really don't necessarily need that. I don't plan on burning this at all in vacuum. That's a jet engine. Yeah, I mean, I think it's more than we need. We won't, you know, but, and I just wonder if and it's not that expensive. I don't think there's, I mean, we could talk about one of these, but they're getting awful small. You see what I mean? Like, so this is, what is this one? Yeah, this guy, yeah, so he's bigger yet. Yeah, let's get rid of it. Keep it off there. Yeah, no, I think that's what we're gonna go with. It's fine. I mean, it's a bigger, more powerful engine, but since we don't have another option. Now, this is the decoupler, and what I figured out that the last time I kind of was going to do this really ugly, but I do want to put a structural fairing. If we go with this guy, and then we right click and do like one down, right? It doesn't look perfect, but it does match up with the bottom one. I think that looks much more reasonable, right? Does that sound good? Now I think I want to take off this guy. And let's go back. This is why we got the engines. And let's take a look at this Bobcat. And again, the Bobcat is sort of more powerful than we need at this point. But then what I was thinking we would do is put two couplers on there. Yeah, we'll just, oops, that's just one. There we go. And then we'll take, and we could just use, like I tried to put these on there, and I think that's going to be like way overkill. Like you could already see that with the setup here that we have, we pretty much would be able to get there, right? And if we add these two guys on here, what does that do for us? Yeah, that's like kind of way overkill at that point, isn't it? I'm wondering, do we just go up? Let's see, we really want to get to the moon and into orbit, we would want, yeah, this guy right here may work. You know, this guy's going to get us pretty much, you know, a good shot to the moon, and then this guy has plenty of fuel to send us out there and plenty of delta V. Let's go ahead and get some aerodynamics on here. And let's put 4 because that's a nice number. All right, so that would give us a little control there. This is a gimbaling engine, so that would be even more control on our burn up. But yeah, we really want to look at this number. We really have more than enough fuel. We could probably even cut some off. Now the only other thing is command and control. You know what, let's go back out to the science. One of the issues that we've been having is that we don't really have a great amount, advanced flight control, so we already have that. But what I'm looking for is like the other inline reaction wheel. All right, so let's take a look. Where is the other aerodynamics? Yeah, I wish, where is that guy? Heavier rocketry, fuel systems. Yeah, I don't really. Because if we don't have this, then we're, yeah, see, this is the one I was thinking of getting, the upgrade to this. And I definitely would if it gave us the better control. Oh, the radar module might, oh, there we go. So what else does this give us? Probe core. Ah, different, better probe stack, huh? Yeah, I mean, yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and get this. And then let's head back into here. And then let's zoom forward, and yeah, I would want it on command and control. Yeah. Now if we compare the two, just hovering over it, torque 2, torque 0.5. So that should help us a lot in doing that thing that we do. Now what else did that give us? Did it give us more science? Where's science? No, it didn't give us more science. There we go. Hopefully, hopefully this will get us some more science, make up for some of that we just spent. But we need to get it all, not all, but we need to get a lot of it anyway. And having that bigger reaction wheel makes me happy. So how did that, yeah, we got plenty of delta V. Yeah, I think we're ready. Let's go through the staging. Yep, bottom engine, cut off there. Yep, cut that off. If we haven't blown this yet, and then we're going to do the last stage when we're actually in orbit around the moon. Yep, all that makes sense to me. And then we'll just leave this guy on the moon because he doesn't have any people. But this should be good experience with both the flight computer and trying to land on the moon. And yeah, so let's launch the bad boy, I think. Yep, let's save it. Moon probe lander. Here we go. Okay, let's get rid of our delta V thing here. Vessel, and I think we come up here and yeah, turn that engineer off for a minute. And what we want to do is come over here and hit kill rotation. And then we want to set this pitch to 80. And this should take us off. Like, I like to leave that open, but we will then hit custom. Like I said, we really don't need that open until we get up top there. We're in orbit or close to orbit. All right, so I think we are ready to launch this bad boy. Let's hope we got everything that we needed, right? Look at it's doing a lot of adjusting. So hopefully everything goes well. Ready? 3, 2, 1, blast off. Oh, we should turn the throttle up. Okay, so after we get over about 150, we will hit custom here. Boom. And then we will change this to 70. And when we get over 250 or 300, we'll hit the custom button again. There we go. Now we can probably slow down a little bit. I see some atmospheric effects happening. It's nice to have these like rockets and not just rely on the boosters, right? So after we get over 15,000 or so, we'll there we go. We're holding off on our speed. We don't want this to get over 10,000 before we get that. Now let's see if we hit prograde orbit. Hopefully that doesn't flip us over. And we will wait until this gets up to about 100,000 and then we will cut our engines. Cut. There we go. Now let's quickly get into here and get a node set up. As soon as we get the node set up, We're going to come over here and click node. Now we should move a lot faster than we did before, but then let's get this guy. Oops, what happened? Come on. And a little bit too much. Let's bring that guy back to about there is good enough. Yeah, I mean, it's not perfectly symmetric, but I'm okay with that. Let's move this guy back a little bit. That'll make it less symmetric. Oh, we had it before. Yeah, that's pretty good right there. So see how I'm moving the timing of that? So let's hit execute. And we should burn when we get to the right time, which is when we're lined up. Very good. Let's come up here back to our this mode, and we can deploy that, and let's activate that. Now we're going to have to switch our target. I don't know if we're going to have control, but this is, you know, we're just going to have to see. You know, it's saying we have control at this moment. Let's extend all the solar panels. Just because why not, right? And we should burn. Yeah, let's close that now. If we go back to this view, when we do this, yeah, we probably want. Yeah, we might have a problem with control here. We might even want to try to use this one. Let's change our target on our antenna to this mid Orbsat 1. There we go, we're doing our burn. Mid Orbsat 1. So hopefully we'll stay in line with that. Now we can switch it. I think there's a real harsh mode where you can't even do that. So let's take a look, make sure this is going well. Oops, let's go back here because we're going to need the stage. There we go. Hopefully that didn't mess us up too much. All right, and then let's go back and take a look, make sure it looks good. Yeah, I do like the fact that this is going to put us into the right inclination right away, right? So we appear to be in pretty good shape. What's our orbit doing? Let's hope it gets up, the periapsis gets up there nicely. Good enough. All right, so now we got to look for where moonrise would be, more or less. And then we're going to want to burn around moonrise, right? So that would be like this neighborhood. And then let's close this. And then let's tell it to go to the node, because why not? And then let us burn quite a bit. There we go. We have a interception. Now can we set view focus? This was a suggestion from Chuck, who suggested that we set the focus to the moon where it'll be a lot easier to see what's going on here, right? So now we should be able to come over. You know what? Yeah, why can't we? It's not letting me. Set focus was a good idea, but I can't now see. Yeah, we need to do, how long until this node? 18 minutes. So we got plenty of time. Not that we want to take 18 minutes, but where the heck is our craft? Moon Probe Lander. Yeah, can I set? How do I get the focus? Yeah, I want to get the focus back to this. No, I don't want to be on the focus of that anymore because I can't adjust my orbit too well. Let's see, can I click on that? Will that? Yeah, there we go. That's what we wanted to do. All right, never mind. I needed to click on the node. That's why I couldn't get to this screen here. So let's see if we can't. Let's turn this down a bunch. Let's see what we can't do. Oh, there we go. That's nice. Yeah, let's see. Can we get that even closer? Oh, too close. We don't want to hit it. But it would be nice to come in. Yeah, let's do... Now, the hotter we come in, the more we'll have to burn when we get here, right? But there we go. So that's going to get us down to 80. That's close enough, right? And who knows if this burn's going to be that accurate. So let's go ahead and execute that. And then we can also... Well, let's just do this burn first, and then we'll... No sense in doing that other one, because we might need to make a little adjustment burn. Yeah, so that's pretty cool that the way that setting the focus does the thing. Now, what I would like to know is how we go focusing back on our vessel, right? One way I know we can do it, probably not the best way, is let's go back to the Space Center. Or I guess we could have gone to Tracking Center. Well, you know what? We have the Kerbal alarm. We can open up the Kerbal alarm. So let's go to Moon Probe 1, and then I think we can just click on that and jump to ship. And then our focus should be back on our ship. I'm sure there's a better way of setting that focus, but... Okay, very good. So there's no science we can do at this point. We are facing our node. Let us... Yeah, let us see. So I guess we could just fast forward since we should have the alarm. Let's do 100 times fast forward. And let's open up the flight computer. Here we come all the way around to here. Oh, it's slowing us down because we're getting close. Yeah, we can delete that. Sorry about that. Okay, so there we go. So now let's fast forward a little bit more just to get it so we're not waiting 3 minutes for this burn. Let's come back into this view for a minute. Yeah, we're not going to have any staging going on, so we can look at it to start here. I jumped the gun and slowing down. Let's get it down to about 30 seconds. There we go. Which is 4 seconds here. Very cool. There's the moon land. If you're doing it manually, that's where you want the moon rise to be, right? Let's come in here and take a look and see what it does to our... I got way too many lines going around here, don't I? It's kind of crazy. Yeah, that's... Yeah, so this is our trajectory growing nicely. And let's open up our Kerbal. Ooh, that's the arm box. Show the engineer. I'd like to see the vessel. Yeah, so we have plenty of delta V left in this to do a burn. All right, so where did our periapsis end up? 80,000. So that was very, very accurate. So let's do the. Nope, we don't want to add a maneuver. Nope. Let's see, can I get out here and do that same thing again? Yeah, see, it keeps asking me if I want to set a maneuver there. I don't. There we go. Set focus. Cool. Yeah, so that's definitely a lot easier to do. So we can click more accurately right on our periapsis, right? And we'll add a maneuver here. And then we will, no, we're going to want to burn retrograde to slow down. And no, stop that. I want to bring, let's bring that, we want to come in kind of close, right? So what is our periapsis? 28? Yeah, I think that'll work. There's no atmosphere to worry about. You know, at some point, we want to make sure that we have satellite communications the whole time. So that's one of the reasons I picked to communicate with this guy down here. Because if you look, he should always be in view, right? Unless we go on the other side of the moon, where we're just, you know, but we're just going to have to figure out what we're going to do before we get there. So as far, like, we might have to wait an extra go around in order to set up our burn and give them commands. So let's, well, there's no point. I mean, just kill rotation is probably fine. We can tell them to execute this next node, right? But that's like 1 day away. We might want to come up here a little bit earlier as we, we could add another alarm if we want to. So why don't we do that? Let's add a new alarm for the escape, which is in 5 hours. So that'll kind of give us an idea of, plenty ahead of time in case we start conflicting with another event that we have, right? So we'll have 2 of these for the MoonProbe Yeah, so it looks like we're gonna, in the next episode, we're gonna fast forward time and probably do this MoonProbe landing, or at least the maneuvering, to get into orbit before that. We'll see. I don't want to cut it too close to this maneuver, just so we can get that one done too. But there we go. So we are, we're in a pretty good orbit. We might want to, it really doesn't matter that much. When we get out there, we're not in a perfectly equatorial orbit of the moon. Not that that matters that much. But I think we're in good shape. Very good. All right, let's head back out to the Space Center and end the episode. There we go. So let's get rid of that flight engineer. Where the heck is it? There we go. Okay. So there we go. We got them all stacked up now, right? We are ready for some excitement. We're still doing pretty good on our money. I think we need to upgrade this astronaut complex here at some, that's not what I wanted to do. Just because we're going to need this to get upgraded to do EVAs and all that kind of stuff. So how much is that going to end up costing us? $75,000, not too bad. No reason to spend the money right this minute, even though we could. So hopefully from some of these things, we'll get a little bit more science as they head out there and get some science for recovering people from space and who knows what else. We'll definitely need that. So there you go. Yet another mission started and nothing completed. It seems to be the way of our space program. But I think we're well set up. We don't have too many other contracts that we can do. So or with the limit that we have here on mission control. So, okay, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the episode. Let me know if you have any suggestions or comments. I appreciate the ones you've given over the last episodes. Thank you very much. Take care of yourselves and have a good day. Bye-bye.